Welcome back. I want to visit with you for a few minutes today about what is going on the left. And if you've noticed, there is all-out panic on the left. And whether it is the hack CNN folks attacking Ann Romney, or whether it is the president going through this, it's an unprecedented assault on the Constitution. It's an unprecedented budget. It's social Darwinism. It's antithetical to the way, yada, yada. You've heard this stuff, okay? The magic words aren't working anymore. I want you to notice something. When you preach doom, gloom, and catastrophe constantly, there comes a point when the public won't listen to you anymore. What did Lincoln tell us? You can fool some of the people all of the time. You can fool all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. After years and years and years of the American left telling us that the only thing that will save us is an ever-expanding role for the federal government, the state government, the city government, the county government, what we have now is a multi-trillion-dollar nightmare running down the rails toward us, almost certainly bringing to a head a national debacle financially. We're heading towards 16 trillion in debt. We're taking in 2.2 trillion in revenue. We're putting out 3.8 trillion in spending. We're upside down 1.6 trillion a year. The finance report that came out for March said we spent 198 billion more than we took in, an all-time record. And the president's out there using the same old words, and the magic has disappeared from the words. Now, for years, what the left said about the right was that they don't want to help you. They want to, murder your children and keep the women chained to the stove and all that stuff. But the reality is, what's been used for a century to expand federal power has been a series of cases that basically date back to the Great Depression. And one of those is Wickard v. Filburn, which is one of the most ludicrous decisions in the history of the United States Supreme Court. And it's basically a case where the Secretary of the Department of Agriculture tells an individual wheat farmer they can't grow wheat to eat in their own house. And that's how the Commerce Clause, only for economic purposes, has been endlessly expanded. Well, I think, and everything tells me, all of my intuition, all my U.S. Supreme Court intuition tells me that the court is going to overturn the individual mandate. And I'm optimistic that it might be 7-2, it might be 5-4, but I think it's going to be a rather stunning, to borrow President Obama's own word, unprecedented moment in American history. Not since the Schechter case, where the Jewish butchers in New York City, who were told by the National Industrial Recovery Act that they had to do things a certain way, and they said, no, we're kosher butchers. We do what God says. We do what the Torah tells us, not what FDR tells us. Not since that moment have we had such a critical decision. When Justice Kennedy said this would fundamentally change the relationship between the U.S. federal government and the individual citizen, he basically threw down the gauntlet that broke the luster of the magic words. In the old days, the left could say, well, the right's reactionary, or they don't care about the kids, or they're going to make the water dirty, or it's unprecedented. It's, there never has this happened before. The magic words aren't going to work this time. It is my prediction that the magic of the words is gone. 60% of Americans want Obamacare overturned. 30% support it. It's a 2-to-1 margin. Our government is supposed to be of the people, by the people, and for the people. I believe that we are on the verge. Come June, I think we're going to get the first in a series of U.S. Supreme Court decisions that gut what President Obama has tried to do from the White House. Please immigrate over to Terry J. Level 53 on YouTube. Please go to our internet site, patriotnetworktv.com. Please get us into your email list and send our videos, send our headlines, share our information with everybody. Our goal is to restore freedom, to get a country that is on the path toward opportunity and economic freedom and political freedom. President Obama is, to borrow his own words, antithetically opposed to that. President President Obama is not a social Darwinist, he's just a socialist, and we need to get rid of him. We got to get our friends registered, we got to get them informed, and we got to vote this guy out. God bless you, and God bless this great nation.